Title is better branding for the unboxing experience. For the past like 2 years, this is probably the top like questions they ask and come in and say, hey, we're looking for a really premium unboxing experience to achieve my marketing goals, to get my new product launch, whatever whatever that goal might be. And my answer is usually to them is this: well, do you have your branding done, or do you have any branding assets that you can give me so I can start the project? This is usually what I got from as a response. They say, yeah, I have my branding assets done. I have a logo and some fonts and some colors. Obviously it's a good thing to have those, but I usually explain to them, well, it's likely you need more than that. I'm gonna explain or talk about 3 little things today that we see that's missing a lot from a lot of the clients that are coming to us. The first thing is what we call a brand voice. Now, a lot of you might think, well, what is a brand voice? Is it how I sound like? Is it how my product sound like? Well, to simplify this, think of this way. So if you have a message you want to deliver to your customer, try to imagine someone you know, or maybe a celebrity, or someone you look up to, or public figure. Imagine how they will actually tell that story or tell that message to your customer. There's a tone embedded with every one of this in terms of when we explain something to people. Your brand should have a voice. Your brand should have a distinctive one that should immediately tell people who you are. So imagine like Tom Cruise tell you something. Imagine like Oprah tell you something, right? The same message, but very different tone and very different feel that you'll get. That's what you need to figure out first. Second thing is the image style. Now, when we come to branding, a lot of people think, well, it's usually not to just have the branding assets, usually mean to do something else, right? So you might have a social media post, or you might have a packaging you want to do. You might have a website that you want to get started. These things need branding, and most of these things need images, right? Nowadays, everywhere, the style of the image that you want to use is very important as well. Now, how do you actually go about defining the style though? So take this photo as an example. What we usually do and help the client with is we need to identify and define some of these qualities with these images. So take this for example. We talk about mood, contrast, composition, colors. For example, hey, as the image goes, I want my product right in the center as a main focus. And I like to have a nature scene around the product as part of the element. You need to start to define what images look like in terms of style in order for you to extending your brand throughout the entire platforms. So it's a very important one. Next one, finally, is a branding guide. Now, many of you have heard about this. How I would like to explain about this is it's kind of like buying a nice car, but without gas, if you don't have a proper branding guide. So nice car sits there, all pretty, right? Your logo sits there, but without gas, it doesn't go anywhere. What's the guide help you? It identifies the do's and don'ts. So if you have a logo, you need to identify, well, I can use it this way, or I can use it some other way. Many times we see when we get these, what they call branding assets, they don't really tell you what you can or cannot do. It ended up being just everywhere. So it's really defeating the whole purpose of having any branding done. Inconsistency is the worst enemy of branding. Now, we all want beautiful unboxing experiences, right? This is one of the projects we did for City of Puglia in Italy last year. During the pandemic, they were trying to start a new program to sort of boost their tourism. To get to that, we need to understand all the things I just explained to really start actually a unboxing or packaging program. What are some of the things that you see missing on the packaging side? Protection is one of them. A lot of people talk about it, but I have a slightly different view, and I want to share with you today. On the photo there, you see a lot of those sort of unnecessarily overpacked things. Over here is your product breaking. Neither of those are great for you, right? The trick, obviously, is then find a balance. I'd like to talk a little bit on the sustainable side. So a lot of people, like packaging nowadays gets a kind of a bad rap a little bit, where it's like, oh, the box is too big, overuse of plastic. But when I try to explain to my client, talking about what sustainable is really, this is possibly the worst thing could happen on the planet in terms of sustainability, because you just spend all the energy and money on creating something, and when this ride broken, what happened? All the carbon you just invested now just go to waste. So what's the point anyways, right? So you don't want these to happen. Now, what do? Well, unfortunately, you need to hire someone who actually know how to do this. So when you try to hire someone, ask them about these. Can you do die lines? Can you do packaging engineering? Rather than like, I need a box, ask those right questions. People who can actually do die lines can actually help you. You know, if you grab some template from the website, that's not gonna do it, okay? So think about it a little bit, and when you try to find someone who can help you, ask the right question. Next one is the material. Now, it gets overlooked quite a bit, actually. A lot of people come into us again saying, hey, I want this thing to look pretty. You know, I have a luxury product. I want to use the best material there is. But think about it a little bit, where the material itself actually speaks louder than you think. When you think about holding a packaging on your hand, aside from the visual look, the texture, the weight, how it feels actually communicates quite a bit, other than the visual qualities of that. So you can have the most beautiful graphics, but the material itself actually speaks on almost subconscious level. A lot of people forget about that and just like, oh yeah, I'll just do whatever there's available. This is a client from our, again, past year. It's called a Corona Fair. We did a special program on their textile bags, which is, you know, it's nothing fancy, but we decided to use something that's more textural, relating more to their brand. And 2 months ago, they're just moving to Sephora from their D2C. Last thing, kind of want to expand a little bit. I actually talk about this point quite a bit last year as well. When we are looking into a premium unboxing experience, a lot of people have some pre-assumptions about what's good. And when I try to explain to my clients about this, is really you need to look at your product and your audience. 2 photos here. One is a, you know, nice watch and a baby bottle. Why is there? Think about this. A premium unboxing experience for these 2 products, do you think they're the same thing? Right? A luxury watch, how would you want to receive it? How would you want to unravel it, right? It's a luxury jewelry. I don't want to open the box and just see the thing. I want to have layers, right? I want to be wow. I want to dig in. It's like, wow, this is, you know, money well spent. So multiple layers, right? A lot of story embedded. Where's a baby bottle? Imagine I'm a father of a 4-year-old. Imagine multiple layers, discovery, surprises. Nah, that's not what I want, okay? I want to open the box and grab the bottle and start using it. That's the premium experience for a baby bottle, right? Very different things happening here. So there's no really a one answer as far as, you know, thinking about what premium unboxing experience goes. You really have to go back to product and your audience. Think about that quite a bit, and if you look deep enough, you probably find something that will actually bring more value to your product. One of the things we've learned actually is a lot of people think about packaging investments as more of an operational cost, but what we see over and over again is when you invest the right way, your packaging becomes a marketing tool. So a good example would be, this is a project we've done last year for a brand called Brooklyn Robot Foundry. They came to us 2020, just at the peak of the pandemic. They were actually a face-to-face. They have actually multiple retail spaces to teach kids how to build mini robots using like found objects. Very good business, very, very successful. But at the peak of the pandemic, they had to close down. Simply, you know, you can't run that, right, anymore. The owner is brave enough to say, you know what, I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to move everything online, using online sort of, you know, Zoom meetings to host the classes. But they were lacking really all the boxes, branding to support that. So they came to us and say, hey, I'm at the verge to close my business now. Can you help us with that? So we really looked deep into that, how a packaging project can actually support a new business as they face challenges and convert them into a new direction. These now gets not only functional reasons, so they deliver actually these kits to the classes and actually have multiple instructions to tell the kids how to go online and how the classes. These things are made so fun, the parents and the kids are taking photos and posting them on Instagram. 300% increased sales last year. So I think that's success on my side. So we look a lot of data like that to get rewarded. So we don't just look at this wins some awards too, but like we really ask the clients about how they're doing on their business. That's a true reward on our side.